This is Heaven's Vault. It's part 2. And helpfully, the game provides us with a summary of what happened last time. The story so far. Aaliyah's search for the roboticist Janiqui Renbar has ended at the wreckage of the ship. Renbar was looking for an ancient observatory called the Vault, which he claimed could prevent a great darkness from overtaking the nebula. Meanwhile, Aaliyah has found something else, a shrine from an unknown moon. Will it explain what brought the roboticist to the cyclones? And Huang has told Aaliyah of the trader called Amadu on Renaki, who claims to know about an observatory. It can't be the place Renbar was after, can it? So, I believe Renaki is the place that we just landed last time, and we will be continuing there. Also, hello Fern. No, it's Elboreth. We will be continuing at Elboreth, not at Renaki. There was this mechanic that is a friend of Aaliyah's, and how is that title supposed to be read? You enjoying the story or not? The title of the stream is Linguistics is easy, the intrigue is the hard part, and I consider that a preview of how things are supposed to go. It's just I'm bad at reading people, be it in real life, be it in fictional narratives. So this will be the most interesting challenge, I feel like. I have a question for you, Fern. You are still playing Nine Souls, and I see your stream notifications every time you go live. I am terrified of how long you are at this game. What is going on? Please explain this. I was like, it can't take that long to play the game, right? Well, obviously, but what do you mean by intrigue being the hard part? I feel like I really breezed through deciphering the language last time. I mean, obviously, we're not far from done, but it didn't feel particularly difficult. Maybe it's just the early part of the game and it will pick up at some point, but it felt easier than this navigating the social situation between that professor woman and the robot, and what do we tell them and what not, and so forth. Yeah. But yeah, question 9 Souls. Like, I saw on How Long to Beat that that it's supposed to take like 20 hours, and I feel like you've been at it for months. Are you doing all the optional challenges, or what's going on? That would be interesting to me. Also, what is the parallax scrolling on the background is very weird here. Anyway, I will say you did really well with the translating. Picked up on some connections that took Kalamaifi and me way longer. I see. Yeah, I have my best friend with me, a piece of paper. I should have gotten that out last time. So solved inscriptions, because, for example, I think what I said was like, comma is like a noun, so this curly is noun, or like physical object specifically, to a certain extent, and I feel, I think I remember that was not the amount that I saw right there. Okay. Wait, why is it not showing everything here? Is it ... What, continue? Unsolved. Yeah, show me the interesting ones. Yeah, like these quotes are like verb, this symbol. So that's something that I will put down right now, and we will see. Yeah, there's some clarity about this. So I think this is the most significant part. And now we just landed here. That's our ship, the Nightingale. She's a beautiful ship. I'm lucky I found her. 9.5 years ago. The ship was resting half repaired in an abandoned hall on Elboreth. For the longest time I didn't tell Mayari I had her. But yeah, 9 Souls. It's a long game, but I'm also reading a lot of dialogue out loud and going for 100%, so that gives you an easy way to check if you've missed stuff in exploration. That makes sense. So I take it you are thoroughly enjoying the game. Also, it is hard spending 1 to 2 hours on each boss and had last stream before hours of attempts on the final boss that I have to pick up the next time. Yeah, I went in there for like 2 minutes and I was pondering whether to look at it. I saw like death counter 700 and something, and it was like, okay, that vibes with my own Hollow Knight playthrough. That I didn't have a death counter for all of it. At some point I had a death counter per day, which was frequently over 100. And I guess it must have been in the thousands, in the lower thousands, like 2,000 or 3,000 maybe overall. And it did take me 8 months, though at that time I only streamed it every 2 weeks. So maybe it's a similar situation. Good to know. So we found the Nightingale 9.5 years ago. I get my 3rd robot. Did we get this as a story thing, or is this just... I didn't remember this particular thing plopping up. 3 breaks down on Elboreth. O'Roy buries 3. I never told Mayari what happened to 3. What is happening here? This feels like something that might unfold as we progress through this planet. You did not think to give your ship to the creators on Iox? She's an archaeological find after all. Iox doesn't like people to have ships. They would have burned her. Your ship is no secret, mistress. Professor Mayari knows you sail, of course. Mayari lets me do what I like. I don't really know why. But we don't want back to the ship. We want to explore. Can I... The harvest. Such as it is. Dried grass. Waiting to be taken inside. I see you chatting. What is it for? I'm assuming people do not eat it. Animals do. But not people. People aren't animals. Indeed. I don't know where this discussion was going. 700... What is that slander? 533 right now, totally different. Did I misread that? If I misread that, then I apologize. This must have all been very fine once, but it seems to be decaying this way. This is the gate to the upper citadel. Mistress, there's only solid rock behind this door. Ah, I comprehend. It is a hopper. It's one of the oldest things on Elboreth. It still works amazingly. I cannot see the eye, mistress. Without a line of sight to the eye, I cannot take us inside. We Elborethians know how to use it. You just say the word. What is the word, mistress? I'm not going to just say it. No worries, I might tell you. The gate is listening. Ah. A fair point, mistress. I must assume this gate contains the hopper source. There must be a comparable gate above fitted with an eye. And you've got a hopper with you? I carry a source, mistress. I assume you have used the gate before. I'm very confused at where this discussion is currently going. Like, why would she try to conceal the fact how the gate works from the robot? Shouldn't that be common knowledge within their society? Hundreds of times. Though as children we sometimes climbed on the outside of the walls. You sound like you don't trust me. A hopper takes one's corporeal form to pieces, mistress. Trust is critical. You can stay here if you like. Just stand back when I ask you to let me through. The idea is appealing, but not to my ethical core, mistress. I will stay with you. Fine. Set Boyaoki Refar. The gate is asking where you want to go. You can understand it? I'm very confused immediately where this discussion is going. No, mistress, I was asking you a question. Set Boyaoki Refar. Oh, so that is what the gate is saying. Okay. The gate word is the name of the upper city. But I think the upper city is named after the word. Cat kiss. Rememya Miniuya. Sorry, nothing's happening. Most impressive, mistress. Said Boyauki Refa. Kibenya? Yeni hua sale kalatidi. What just happened? The goddess name got me through? Okay, so they changed the password on their door's Wi-Fi. This is the main courtyard. There are alleys leading off in all directions. It's easy to get lost up here. Hopefully easy to lose a robot. Have you lost robots up here before, mistress? I lost 3 up here as it happened. 3 had lost itself long before that. That's the thing no one tells you about robots. They don't work properly. They're fragile. I'm not fragile, mistress. I require nothing. Okay. Weird snaps, but okay. Okay, so paths in all directions are all closed off. Okay, I lost a robot. Which one? 3, that was his name. 1 minute was with me, the next. I'll be vigilant, mistress. 3 wasn't the sharpest of tools. Yeah, I think I got the wrong dialogue order here somehow. I'm surprised I got as much for it as I did. Mistress is teasing me. We got an interesting sequence of events there. It makes sense with the retrospective having done a few playthroughs, but I can see how it's confusing. Okay, so you're probably not just talking about the order of these particular 2 lines or quick exchanges there. Oh, Roy's yard is this way. Also, I realized I don't have a drink ready to go. Let's see when it gives me a good moment to...
On Elbereth, you could buy anything for any purpose.
Strong as oxen. Dependable. Sheep. Mistress? What is this lady selling? It's a work market. Workers? Are you surprised? This is Elbereth. It's about as far from Iox as you can go. I mean, we have been inside the vortex of that storm before, so I don't know. I cannot be here, mistress. The market is for people, not machines. Stop worrying. You're in no danger. I'm not concerned for myself. My ethical core is programmed against suffering. It does not differentiate by economic status. Well, that seems maladjusted. You're a hopeless case 6. Gotta be realist. You're a romantic. I'm compelled to expend a considerable number of cycles verifying that before I can simply accept it, mistress. Just stay quiet. Try not to attract too much attention, especially with this guy in the background. Good faith to you, Father. How are the crops? Hello, yes, how are the crops? Well enough, thank you. Walk with the goddess. Or die on Iox, I don't care. Doesn't matter how often I come back here. Once you've left, no one allows you to return. That's why they go like... why they walk around like this, I guess. This place turns my stomach too. I might have ended up like this if it hadn't been for Mayari. Never understood Professor Mayari. You know she brought me to Iox from here. Are you listening to me, you fucking robot? I was in an orphanage and now she keeps giving me robots when I keep losing them. I really don't know what she gets out of it. I mean, crowns, for one thing. Oh, I didn't catch that last line. Perhaps she liked to be kind, I think is what I read. You're lost, Farvet? My name isn't Farvet. You look like a Farvet to me. And you brought a Miyameke with you? A robot here? It's not for sale. Ha! I wouldn't take your Miyameke if you left it here in a basket. Why would I? We got people, that's way better. You'd rather use people like machines instead? I'm just a Wigme, an employer. Well, these things, what good are the metal things to anyone? Perhaps you're hoping to start a riot? It's useful enough to me. Let's not start a riot right now. I suppose you think that thing of yours will stop anyone from demanding respect? I didn't come here for any trouble, sorry. Then what should we bring into my cat case? Your kind won't be happy until only the Miyamiki can eat. The options. It won't be robots to stick a knife in your belly. What the shit? Farvet Salehua. So Farvet means... We're deciphering the next language here. Farvet is like foreigner or like Ioxian. Or some kind of slur. Do you believe the workers are well treated, mistress? I think it doesn't progress until I choose an option here, so I will use this to quickly fetch a drink. Alright. Do you believe the workers are well treated, mistress? Let's not talk about it. It doesn't do any good. Roy's yard is this way. I will follow, mistress.
Oroy was my oldest friend. We'd grown up in the orphanage together.
Xyrill is being an awful people pleaser while talking to a literal slave trader. I feel like that's the motif for this entire decade, currently. Trying to please while talking to literal shitheads.
But I had left
just trying to
Elbereth and
adjust
she
to
had
this society
stayed.
as it will be in like a few months from now. This whole area is Oroy's, I think. She's useful, and people like to give her space. Oh. There was an answering clatter from behind the door. I thought there was a look at or not. What do we do now? Now we wait for Oroy to finish whatever she's doing in there. Then come and see who we are. Alright. What do you want? Oh. It's you. Oroy. So? You're here to dump another broken robot on me? I don't remember it like that. Oh, don't you? Ripping people off just doesn't stick? What do you want, Aliyah? I was having a good day.
We'd been friends. Once.
Okay, the other thing... I should have checked the other thing first. Oh well. I found the strange telescope stand in the cyclones. Wait. You sailed into the cyclones? Aliyah. Are you mad? That's not the point. Oh, he's spying on me. He's standing up like, And it should be the point. I've lost you once to Iox. I don't want to lose you again. I'm alright, Oroy. I promise I am. Aliyah, sometimes I just think you really need to get yourself a real life. Can you... Okay, we just don't talk about that anymore. Okay, cool. How's your family? My son is fine. My daughter, that's another story. What happened to your daughter? My daughter thinks she's in love. Is she? She's a child, Aliyah. How old is she now? You know perfectly well how old she is, and she's not old enough. That's not helpful. Okay, we cannot talk about the telescope stand. Cool. Did you ever fix that robot I sold you? No. Whatever I'd lost out there, it was really gone. I ended up borrowing a few internals from my collection. Disgusting. How's business? Slow enough, but it's not getting any worse. Don't be a stranger, Aliyah El-Asra. Or we can look at what's over here. I didn't...
Nothing.
Okay. I wonder how business is going. The alms tray looks pretty empty. What is an alms tray? Also, I don't have any other leads other than this person here. So, oh, there's a lead. I have no idea what these things do. Or always playing around with magnets and wires and things. Interesting. I'll just annoy her until she comes out again.
But I think she was ignoring me. She wasn't coming back out.
There must be dialogue if I do this like 200 times. Get lost, Aliyah! Oh? Oh, it looked like it was setting up for a cutscene. I'm so mad I didn't get any answers. Yeah, and also we should have come here first. Before going and giving the crown to Mayari. Oh well. You win some, you lose some. And we're starting off today by losing some. That's how these things go. Also, my voice is still a bit problematic. I have some trouble with a cold that is not wanting to really evict. Time to go, mistress. I will take that as a no. Okay, cool. We can get to Tappies this way.
To strangers, the cat kiss is like a maze. But I'd spent 10 years tearing through these alleyways.
So it's a familiar maze.
I could have found my way to Tappy's in the dark.
Well, did we? Where is it? Is it in here? It's in here. Tappy's place isn't big, but inside it's a treasure trove. Oh. Who's that? Hold it! Don't we know this guy? Oh. But it's you. Welcome back to Albereth, Moonflower. Give it back, Tappy? What? Whatever it is you took. I confess I only really saw the robot. But friends, as you know, are friends. So have your no doubt precious brooch back. What the shit? Mistress, do not trust this man. You don't trust him? Tappy and I have a long history. I already don't trust him. You adore me instead. I prefer it that way. Now come on in out of the cold. And he took the brooch again. It seems as though I will wait here.
Tappy's
suspiciously.
place was a little museum to junk. Pots and boxes, spoons and hooks and pocket knives.
So good to see you back on Elbereth, Aliyah. The rivers above grow dull when you're not with us.
And at the centre
Most
of
other
it
people
all
don't say it like
was
this.
Tappy, grinning away like a skull in a bodysuit.
And are you well? I'm never dull. So Tappy, have you heard any rumors of sights? We'll get to artifacts after this. I could use a find. You know, I did hear something. Something out in the fields. Here on Elbereth? That was what I heard. After all, isn't this where you found your pretty boat? Anyway, they say something sent one of the field workers flying through the air. This is what they say. They seem pleased about this. Why, I do like a little spectacle. How do I find it? I have no idea. You might be able to find the man. I doubt anyone's bought him again. He broke his arm when he landed. One of the laborers from the market? That's right. Whatever's out there, I take a look myself, but I tend to attract attention when I go for walks outside the walls. But no one's going to trouble you. You're from Iox. I'm from Elbereth. People from Elbereth don't have robot servants, my sweet. Be careful you don't get zapped yourself, of course. I tend to not attack my finds with scythes. No doubt, no doubt. I want to show you an artifact. Oh, yes. Okay, we have the scimitar, the bowsprit, the compass, the chest. I have no recollection which of these are significant. Like, it's all just, here's a bunch of stuff. Have fun. I don't know. We'll just pick at random. What do we do? Scimitar, bowsprit, compass. Let's do compass. This is a compass carved with a claw design dating from at least the earliest Empire period. I know you like devices. Interesting. I might be able to make you an offer. Yes, this is it. A cooking knife. It doesn't have an etched message on the blade, but I don't think I've seen anything equivalent to this knife before. Which means I think this comes from somewhere we never knew existed. So, you've inspected the goods. The knife for your compass, carved with a claw design. I have no idea how to judge this. I mean, sure, I don't know. You have a deal. What do I do with the knife? Do I give this to Huang and he gives me something else for it? I think this looks rather good here. We have another question in the dialogue tree. Who buys all this stuff of yours? And I saw there was another question now. Respectable people and a few Elbereth rats too. Why do they want it? What good does it do? Different reasons. Some are collectors, rich types. I think money hurts them, so they spend it quickly. Most of them are old, prostate problems. They leak money. I'm up. I'm an Elberethian. I'm not above it. Okay, we're not up there, Aliyah. I see. A man must have his secrets. Another thing, Tappy. How's business? It never booms. Somehow we all get by. Can I review my inventory? Like compass? Jesus. Wait, what did I go to now? Did I not just filter by compass? What is happening? All Okay, now... How does this... Oh my god, how does this UI work? I don't understand. There was a labeling on the top. How do I get this? Are you happy with that robot of yours? I could probably adjust it a bit. Can you get rid of the ethical core? These things run off their cores. But I'm told you can swap them out fairly easily. Who told you that? A mutual friend. Anyway, bear it in mind, Aliyah. I should have chosen the option of change to primary user. That would be fun. I found a few items you might be interested in. Hold on to it. I'm all out. Clean. Oh, so it's whatever I give him I traded for that knife. See you later. Look after yourself out there. Interesting. So we're looking for that worker. You're in one piece. You still have all your teeth. We have one new artifact to consider. Are you ready to go yet, mistress? Don't hassle me. We need to buy a worker. Or at least buy information from a worker that is not able to work anymore. So are they really a worker? It's like epistemological inquiry we're engaged in here right now. It wasn't this direction, wasn't it? Good faith to you. Yes. I'm told a laborer hurt themselves in the fields. Struck something on the ground. Laborers hurt themselves all the time. What is going on with her face? Too much raki usually. You'd have to ask at the market. Good faith to you. That's where I was going anyway. Why did she strike up this useless conversation? They all seem intact to me. Yes. I heard one of your laborers was injured. Accidents happen. There's nothing wrong with my stock. I didn't say there was. Your friend from Iox did. Is the worker alright? No, they're all left. Does it matter? I've plenty of good workers here, strong and keen, whatever you need a hand for. I want to talk to the injured worker. You want to hire one of my stock? I just want to talk to him. Then you can pay a fair rate. If that's to dig your plot or whisper to you through the night, that's your affair. Just don't break his leg. I won't break anything. That's a promise. I don't accept promises. Ioxians don't respect property. How do I actually get something useful out of this? It was an Ioxian who hired him before. And broke him. By the name of Renbar. He's probably a known criminal on your moon. Janiqui Renbar. Didn't know his first name. But Janiqui sounds like the squeal he made when I went after him. How much to ask him some questions? Listen, Saliwa. Your Ioxian friend shattered my man's armbone into 100 little bits. The bits are swimming around inside his skin like hungry maggots. He's never going to work again. Like his leather, you're the last chance he's got to earn himself a meal. So pay your dues. Name a price. Let's see what you've brought. I prefer jewelry and weapons. Offer something small. Is that what we need the knife for? Maybe this? See, it could all tie together. Well, it's not in the best condition, but I need more to cover it. Then we'll do the scimitar as well. What is this perspective? What is going on? I've seen worse, I suppose. The copper scimitar and the cooking knife? Still not enough. Do you know how old the knife is? So it is weak, fragile. Now we're haggling. Your price is too high. A pity. Come back when you're feeling more generous. Maybe we can trade. Let's see what you're offering. I prefer jewelry and weapons. So if we have... Again, I have no idea what these items, what the law on these items, but I have the inscriptions, so how about this? Mistress, are you at liberty to be quiet, Six? Mistress, I have a responsibility to the professor. Problem? Take the brooch. The robot can stop you taking it. Mistress. That's most excellent indeed. You have a deal. I handed over the eagle wing brooch. Though this barely covers what a man's worth. Jazzy, get out here. I know, miracles happen. Greet your... What time is it? Greet your buyer. Mistress, please. Good faith and greetings to you, Mikas. My name is Aliyah. I'm Jazzy, Mikas. I just want to ask you a question, then you can go. Go where, Mikas? I don't think anyone will hire me as I am now. You were hired by a man from Iox, Janikwi Renbar, to dig something up in the fields. You have it right. The Mika's name was Renbar. But we were not digging in the fields. We were not digging on Alboreth. So where did Renbar have you working? We sailed to a moon. Alboreth was visible in its skies. There was nothing there, but he made us dig. We found something. Can you find Renbar's moon again? I think so, yes. But not on a map. I will need to fly with you. Oh, I'm now seeing his arm, holy shit. You can point it out to 6. I cannot. I only saw glimpses of the clouds where we worked. Why can we not just take this guy with us? Why is it not offering me the option? What did you dig up for Renbar? I do not know. We had just uncovered a spar of wood when the winch fell on me. I was brought back here. Wood? Not metal? No. Not robots then. What were you digging that needed a winch? A hole, mistress. A very deep hole indeed. What was Renbar looking for? What did he find? Do you know? I do not know. I was hurt before he found anything. Let's see what he says about going to Iox. I'll take you to Iox. Lots of people sit around on Iox. I do not want to sit around. I want to work. Wang will find something for you in the library on Iox. They'll enjoy the company. Mikas. Or Mikas. Let's go back to the ship. We can talk there. Are you ready to go now, mistress? Good. And so we left the surface of Alboreth. Triangulated the dig site near Alboreth. And now I have enough information to find it. Renbar's dig site. Moon and Ghost's Wake. What is this about? So the scimitar is from the moon here. Okay. Okay. Anyway. I think we'll follow this trace to the dig site first, because it's fresh in my mind right now and I know what's going on there. Jazzy claims he can find his way back to the moon where Renbar was working. So is he with us or not? I'm so confused. He is, okay. And his arm is... Oof. I mean, it's broken, alright. Sure you can find this moon, Jazzy? Quite certain. You can find the place where the Ioxian head is working, because without me I do not think you would ever find it. Then let's go. Plot a course. Oh, I didn't see what she was saying. Shit. But also this text is going by so fast. Sailing to Renbar's dig site along the Eagle's Pass. Either of the routes leads to our destination, mistress. We're going the right way? I do not know, Mikus. When he took us there, he did not let us look out of the window. Then why are you saying you can navigate? Very slow flowing in here. Maybe that's just me being biased because I saw the cyclones last time and the cyclones was just incredibly intense. Okay. I think Renbar's dig site is close at hand. Who said that? Is that us? I mean, now it's of advantage that we go slow. We can observe. What are these structures? There's something up ahead. Settle the Nightingale 6. Let's take a look around. The moon Jazzy has led us to seems desolate enough.
We trudged across the surface of a tiny moon. Nothing but dust and towering stone.
This is the place? It is quite remarkable, mistress. This place is actually worse than Elbereth. Much worse, Mayameki. Also, I'm not sure. The last message that Fern sent was an angry face, and after that he didn't say anything again. I don't know if that was directed at me. That's the home you're talking about, 6. His home, mistress. Merely your birthplace. But you did well to leave. Like, obviously there's not even racist undertones, there's racist overtones. Professor Marie scooped me out of the orphanage and carried me away. But now you have done the same for me. What would Renbar be looking forward to? She is very focused on the task, and I mean, I kind of am myself. There's nothing, but there is a dot. Just mountains of sand. We won't find any buildings here, they'd be buried. There are none. How do all these places have a breathable atmosphere? That's wild. So can we leave too? There's something up ahead. What's that? It's a dig site, all right.
There were tents, carts, ropes and platforms. Rember must have had an army working here. And yet he had left it all behind. Just like that.
The pit we dug is within, and it is deep. What were you digging for, Jazzy? He did not say. But he showed no mercy, Mikus. None. So all this was built before Renba went to Maersi. Renba must have found something here. Something that led him into the cyclones. The robe and brooch, perhaps? But how did he find this place? He can't just have stumbled across it. Why was he looking for anything anyway? Is there an entrance? This is the way in? Mikus. Yes? Tied up from the outside. My scanners do not suggest there's anyone inside, as I told you. The knot's old. Hard to... There. That's where we got the knife. I will wait out here. Why? There's a large winch inside, Mikus, which I do not intend to meet again. You will forgive me, I hope. Of course. I also see I have one less follower. I'm so confused.
Darkness.
Did I thoroughly offend Fern and not notice it? That would be on brand for me.
An enormous pit had been cut into the rock below. It must have taken days to do. Weeks even.
Wait, who's offended? Oh, you're still... Okay. No, I was like... I was confused because I don't know if... I don't remember if I had the entire context, but the last message you sent before this was an angry face, and I don't know if that was just representing Six's emotion, or if I had offended you in some way that I wasn't aware of. Please be careful, mistress. You are very close to the edge. What do you mean? It's very dark in here. Indeed, mistress. This seems rickety. You could choose not to go down there, mistress. Evidently I did. I don't trust it. Not in the dark. What if I go anyway? There must be something down there. Oh, that was just an attempt at an angry robot emoji for 6. Okay, wonderful. Even if there was, you would not be able to see it. Okay, they really don't want me to go down here. Then I'm relieved, and we will be looking around for some sort of mechanism, possibly. An inscription. But this is not an ancient site, mistress. Algorithms carve ancient symbols for luck. I don't think they know what they mean. They're primitive people. Bless? I'm going to have to guess the whole thing. This is I, but if this is noun... Yourself. Bless yourself. This must be this, but then, like grammatically, bless this, but why would I become this with the comma that I've said, like, meaning make into a noun? I is already a noun. Well, that's a pronoun, but... And this is not a noun either. At least if we're going by our parts of speech in our languages. Where's this? This symbol I've seen in some places that I was thinking like construction. if I remember correctly. I would just like to have a UI for like all the words that I've seen in the past. What does it say is related for these ones? Let's check now what was I thinking when I picked that translation. But this vibes like construction or dwelling. And then this could be building for living in. I mean, bless this house. This beam might have been taken from an Elwethium home. Okay, that's all we're gonna conclude about this. There's something over there. Some kind of machine on that platform. Is that the winch? Oh, you mean this thing over there. But there was like a dot here as well, wasn't there? I saw a dot on... Oh, lifting equipment. I guess this is what crushed Jesse's arm. They rebuilt it, kept on working. Mistress, I do not think Renba had an ethical core, Mistress. Lifting equipment, but not very good lifting equipment. Whatever Master Renba was doing here, Mistress, he was doing it secretly, not well. Secretly. I think Renba might have been well suited to his robots. Well, the robots come off as having more ethics than what we are currently observing of Renba's doings. But we obviously do not have the full picture. So this could be some sort of lighting equipment. And that would be just fantastic. Maybe we need some sort of cooking knife to get it working. This is what I saw from the winch platform. Roy would love this. Maybe Renba bought it from her. Evidently it is a generator, Mistress. Your friend Roy most likely made it. There's like 3 people in the galaxy who make things, it appears. Let's see now. Light.
Wooden walkways spiraled down, held together by ropes and luck. You could tell this place was built by Elberethians.
Those walkways look unbelievably dangerous, Mistress. Okay, so that is already light. Having been turned on, I didn't see that. This whole thing feels like oddly walking into a trap. Walkways poised to collapse, a pit big enough to hold an eagle. And yet you intend to walk into it? Well, yeah. Of course I intend to walk into it. The only way to understand a trap is to trigger it. That is possibly the stupidest thing I've ever heard, Mistress. You have not said that it's wrong. There's also some sort of minecart here. Yeah, let's go down. The walkway is extremely badly made. Mistress? Typical. Is he coming after me? Is he gonna collapse in? Like, he's presumably gonna be heavier than me. Why don't you go first, 6? Really, Mistress, but no. I refuse. Evidently it is not safe. Don't you have to do what I say? No, Mistress, I do not. Fine then. I go by the waters. I go by the waters. Ha. Made it. For reference, Mistress, the next plank appears worse. Here goes. Oh no! Oh, that was... Okay. By all the wakened waters. That was a little close. Just in general, how concerned are you about missing stuff? I feel like it's inevitable. Is there another way down? There's only one other way down, Mistress. Perhaps now we can leave? There's no way I could jump that. Obviously not. I could drop down. Maybe? There's sand down there. I'm sure you're aware of the flaw with that idea, Mistress. I'm guessing that I cannot get out again. This plank was loose. I could probably drag it. Mistress, please. The hopper will not work under the tent canopy. If you fall, you will not fly up again. No, I want to. I'm sure I can do this. This is going to work out fine. Maybe I get a secret ending, where it ends like after 4 hours. With luck, that should hold. Here goes nothing. Easy. That wasn't so bad. There's no way for me to follow, mistress. Then stay there. You can keep watch. I will keep watch for your common sense, mistress. You have clearly dropped it somewhere. Well, there's certainly something buried down here, but I can't make out what. Whatever it is, mistress, it has been down here for some considerable time. I wonder what Jazzy's up to. With luck, he has not stolen your ship, mistress. Of course he hasn't. How could he fly it with only one arm? That's reassuring. Another plank. Longer than the ones higher up. Will this one hold? Mistress, I beseech you, if I might remind you, if you break your leg down here, you will stay here until it heals. It's fine. Well, here goes. Oh, she's got some swagger to her. I assumed you heard the plank creaking, mistress. Yeah, whatever. Let's investigate. Bits of metal, fittings, eyelets, hooks, spare parts, and something else. There's something here, a precisely written book bound in leather, dating from the Empire? The spine seems to be inscribed, mistress. How can you tell from there? This one is a blurry piece from an even longer phrase. Pilgrim. I've not seen anything even close to the second word. But something this simple must be a simple conjunction word. Pilgrim and death. I'll look at it again later. That doesn't vibe. Robot got that Navy Sea, I assume, in hands. I think this comes from the same place as the scimitar, the one we found on the hideout moon. This should help us locate its location. Okay. Why didn't Janiqui use robots for the dig? It must have taken forever to excavate all this. I believe the answer is obvious, mistress. Well, Six, enlighten me. Why didn't Renbar use robots? Robots cannot keep secrets, mistress. Every robot has a master. Renbar didn't want Mayari to know? Perhaps Mayari has a master of her own. Another generator. Let's see what's down here. So that is a ship. Is that a hull? It's beautiful. 6. This thing down here. It's a boat. Impossible, mistress. It's far too large to fly. How big? Evidently it is extremely big, mistress. Based on the curvature of the hull, 20 to 30 times the size of the Nightingale. Imagine it intact. An enormous hull, multiple sets of sails. How does it end up here? Can I go down there entirely? Like there's just one more ladder. I'm coming back across. Mistress, I cannot advise. Oh no. Oof. Mistress, are you alright? Ouch. We have a health bar now. I'm alright, more or less. There's some cloth here. It broke my fall. It's really thick and heavy. It must be almost 950 years old, mistress. Sailcloth. It appears I'm healing, like the bar was filling up again. If that even is a health bar. If there was a dot. Can I get the... Oh shit. The operators here are barely strong enough to lift the Nightingale into the sky. How did it launch, is what she said. Maybe it was never launched. Could be purely ceremonial. Then why build it here? When it did not fall from the sky, how is it buried so deep? There's no upriver on this moon. That explains why the buried ship is still here. Once it landed, it could not leave. From the damage, I would suggest that it crashed. Hello, Hobby Blobby. Welcome in. We are investigating this dig site where apparently a ship is buried so big that it could never have flown, like the Vasa. A metal ring. It's a hatch, and it's etched with symbols in ancient. Reviewing it for a while, just silent. Very good. I've not encountered any of these words anywhere else, but I can still make some guesses. So we have... Let's see this one. We have light and we have... like person. The light for a person. If you go by light in a metaphorical way, could be something like way. Right? Like the path that is laid out in front of you is lit up. That could be something. From. So we have from. I'm somewhat certain of, although X as cannot. Where else did we have this? Can we see where else we had this one before? Because cannot would also be interesting. No, but I think it was like, this was like towards, and then X is negation. So I think that should still be fine. That would make other sentences worse if we change that up. And this, I would like to see. See, I would like to see just individual symbols, like show me every word that has this symbol in it. Oh, jeez. I believe you are correct with from, mistress. I see. This one has a lot of symbols, but I think it must say rivers. Okay. We have some confirmations now. And did we not have this symbol in other words as well? Not just in these two? I remember like I was hypothesizing about this one as well. Like this one would be something like earth or seed, and I was making some assumptions about this one, which would mean that we have more like this. We had withering. Does that help at all? I mean, like light and something that has to do with harvest, like could be life. Like taking life from the earth would be a harvest. Life from... None of these really make sense. From here? Where a person is in the light? I don't know. Also life from... Let's go with time. I have no better idea than this right now. A wooden spar. Inset with metal rings for robes. It's huge. You're saying Renma was hiding the fact the last emperor had never returned to the loop? Why would he do that? I can only speculate, mistress. But perhaps because someone claims to be the emperor returned? Does anyone claim to be the emperor reborn? Not publicly, but the university, as you know, has its priesthood. They allocate power as they see fit. Renba was a dedicated member, as is Professor Mayari. Are you saying Mayari claims to be an actual emperor? I do not know her. But if she did, What would a discovery such as Renbar's mean for her? There's a prompt here. Aha! And more inscriptions. That is like temple again. Wasn't that like... oh no, sky. Sky goddess. I can add my translation for sky to my dictionary now. Interesting. The sky goddess. Some kind of religious artifact? It's a bit unwieldy for that though. So if Renbar found the last emperor unreborn, but Mayari believes she's the last emperor, does that give her reason enough to want to keep Renbar silent? To somehow make him and his ship and his findings just disappear? That is pure speculation, mistress. Speculation, but not wrong then? Indeed. I think we are blowing this case wide open right now. This will be a very short game. I peered down into a dusty, gloomy space. Mistress, please do not stick your arm in there. Stick my arm in there. Maybe I can just... What is down there? What is this purple thing? Mistress! There's something here. I found something. Gems? Was this ship carrying buried treasure? What do robots know, Six? When they're activated, I mean. Most things, mistress. They are unlike human children. They talk and move fluidly. Okay, so they are like LLMs. I understand. So we can... Yeah, I'm coming back up. Mistress. Yes. Some weird camera work here. Across the plank. And now we need to move this back again. Good as new. Fine then. I'm not going back down there again. I mean, we can take a look around outside. We pretty directly went in here. The probability of collapse was steadily rising, mistress. Well, good. What does it say there? Is it just... okay, it's to go down again. We don't want that. We don't need that. Walk the plank. Oh, but I also walked back. Let's get back to the ship. Jazzy, what up? Oh, we've been knocked out. Cool.
My head felt like it had been cracked open. I was not aboard the Nightingale.
What is above? Did something fall on
And there
me?
was no sign of the robot.
Gotta find Six. Six has the hopper. Low on oil. Makes sense. Everything's running out here. Any way to light it? Looks like it needs a taper. Probably shouldn't burn the tent down anyway. Six wouldn't like it. Tent. But not a dig tent. Jars of grain, empty now. Workers' quarters, perhaps? What's this? A fragment of a nebula chart filled with minute diagrams dating from the early Empire? Rescued from the dig, I suppose. I found some writing written inside the gap between two flows. This is the start of a fragment of text. And there's sky. And... that squiggly thing must be and. That was very quickly confirmed. We have river. Wind could be a good idea, like wind of water. Or, although also operation or work of water. But wind and sky makes more thematic sense, and it has this common element of the eye with the dot on it for like air related. Does wind and sky make sense? This comes from the same place as the dull crystal, I think. Voices? Coming from outside. Yeah, but it can be... It's simple. She has a ship, we need to leave. There are other people here. We can't just leave her here. The food is all but gone, the water too. She's from Iox. She has a robot. If I can come for you, someone will come for her. This is not good. Thank the waters they didn't tie my hands together. Alright, I've got what I wanted. Time to go. If they are going, then I will cut through here. One last... There we go. They've gone. But the goddess Aliyah, but you're in trouble now. I mean, I saw where they went. They're going for the ship. Shit. There's cool stuff here. Something under this crate. What have we got? It's a fragment from a leather knife. It looks like it dates from the earliest days of the Empire. The maker didn't include an inscription on the hilt. This comes from the same side as the knife. The one I was given on Elbereth. But that's not all. There's also a bleached roll of paper covered in algebraic calculations. What estimated dates from the Holy Empire has been marked too. I already saw that 6 is coming up. This is blotted and unreadable. We have nearly no words that we recognize in here. Oh, love. How do we break this up? This is actually interesting. I haven't seen it before where it's actually difficult to judge how it breaks up. I mean, of love. And it's allowing me to put it somewhere else. Does it take this? Can add my translation to love for my dictionary. But, okay. I'm super confused always how she... Hold on. I've once again forgotten to turn on my redshift. I'm so confused how from this she infers that love is correct. I have no idea how this happens. We have... Okay, this is wild. I was reading this as here, right? Because then this is voice with the nounifier. Also, you never had it played out like this. I don't think I did anything in particular to not make it play out like this, but you were at this side, right? We have this modifier symbol that I do not understand. Like, this ought to be significant in some way, a significant modifier. We have, So this could be like ing. So, Gerund in English, or Verlaufsform in Deutschen, in German. So verb, then gerund, the ing suffix, and then making a noun of it. What was it in this context here? In withering. Oh, well, it's like adjective, possibly. Am I still happy with... Oh, I went outside of the window, sorry. Yeah. Let me just do it. Like from all of this, right? If it has anything to do with here, then it must be a word. But I'm confused as to the construction of it. Like if I say this is not, and this is the stem from here or not here, or here and not here. Here what I don't hear as a verb, as an possibly an adjective? I don't know. Words. And this is like... So this I said nounifier. This is off, and that's confirmed. Dot swirly is something god. Like we saw this as well in goddess, like person that is like holy. A noun that is off holy. So what is source of words of love? Could be source. Source of words of love. Like book, I'm skeptical. It's too specific and I don't see anything pertaining to like writing in here. Or anything that could look like it. Loop. Freedom also, but again, it's like a bit of a stretch. But in a similar way as source. Source of words of love. Presumably there used to be more to it than that. Most likely this comes from the same source as the book I found here earlier. We've got a lot of leads on the moon in Ghost's Wake now. This should make it easier to find. Okay. Why are we going back here? I wanted to get out. Hello? Oh, we need to go back to the right spot on the stage for the meeting thing. Mistress, I trust your cranium is intact. You have to stop them, 6. I think they're going to take the ship. I believe that to be unlikely. But if I may, I believe we should leave this moon swiftly. Have you done something to the Nightingale? Nothing, mistress. But I do suggest we remove it. I will activate the hopper now. And so we left the camp and returned to the ship. We've been here quite a while. We've been here like 50 minutes. What the shit? Didn't feel that long, definitely. Aboard the Nightingale. We returned to the ship and sprang up into the water. So, we ditched Jazi, right? He's not with us anymore. I think I can see them. I can see Jazi's limb. What do we do about those two on there, 6? We can't just leave them. I can hopper down and retrieve them, mistress. Do you think they'll try to overpower me? Steal the ship? The man has only one functional arm, mistress. I would say the odds are even or better. Alright, go and get them. Really, mistress. Yeah, I understand why you would be confused, Jersey. Six. I'm acting a bit confused today. I don't know how my sensibilities lie, other than I want to solve puzzles. Let me make something clear right now. You try anything and I will toss you overboard. Yes, Mikas. Don't start with the Mikas again. He understands, Ioxian. My name is Aliyah. Really? I am Sia. What are we going to do with you? There is nowhere in the nebula for us. On Elbereth we are slaves. I will have to return to the market. I'm owned. There's a market moon called Renaki. You might be able to find work. Is it owned by Iox? It's not in the Protectorate. And we want to go there anyway. Iox is the moon of devils. You are from Elbereth. Renaki then. 6, chart our course. Yes, mistress. Yeah, it's only letting me go to this place now because I already selected that in dialogue. Huang told me about a trader called Amado who was an ancient observatory. Could really be the one that Rainbow was trying to find. I've never been there, but I agreed to take Yazi and Sia there. I could go there next. Why is it this fast? What is... I don't understand. Also... Sailing to Renaki in the Renaki Reach, where ghosts wake in the lower reach. Since this is a long sequence, maybe I'll let the robot do that. So, do all Ioxians get given robots, Mikas? I said to stop with the Mikas. Are they attached to your children, perhaps? Well, if that's so, then we've had children 6 times. No, it's just me. I keep losing them, but they keep giving me more. Master Renba had one full time as well. He brought it to the market on Elbereth when I was hired. All robots look the same to me. I do not know how you could tell them apart. So it looked like 6? This robot Renba had with him? This is so slow this time. A lot like 6. It was a robot, yes. Perhaps it was a little dirtier, perhaps taller. Is it trying to stretch out this dialogue to fit the journey? I cannot say. Okay, it doesn't matter. The direction. How far along are we? We are not very far at all.
The Renaka Reach is famous for smashing boats to splinters. The Renakans are said to make their boats from solid iron.
Cool.
I could see Yazi had been on a ship before. He kept his balance with ease. It occurred to me then that he could probably sail.
The route leads straight ahead here, mistress. That looked like a stream was just going into nothing. Oh, I have a question option. Here's what I don't understand about Renba 6. What makes a roboticist take up treasure hunting? What got him started? A robot, mistress? Very pretty. These colorful backgrounds. Oxy space. Okay, we're going around Iox. Yeah, the routing is limited by these flows all having directions. How did Remember know that boat was buried down there? I don't know. He just walked out across the plain and stopped and pointed down. And he said, "You dig here." And there it was. Okay, it's not letting me pass control. So I assume that means the dialogue is exhausted here. We are not... We've reached uncharted waters, mistress. Cool. So we're just going out of gut feelings over here. Do we learn anything about the astronomy of this game? Like, how does this world actually work on the space travel level? What are these flows? Where do they come from? Where do they go? What does Mikas mean, Yazi? Oh, better. I'm not your better, Yazi. Oh, better is Mikas, okay. I see. I'm from Elbereth too. You're from Iox, I think. Just as the other one was. What I also don't understand, how do they instantly recognize this? I saw a ruin just then. Where? Should I have looked around more? But we're not stopping for it now. So yeah, Remember told me he was looking for an observatory. He found a boat. And what is an observatory? Our path turns right, mistress, as should we. This is so confusing, like, this would have benefited so much from voice acting. It's so confusing that three people are speaking, but you only see the line coming out of the boat. Remember didn't find anything except the boat. He found something inside the boat. An artifact, a telescope, I think. The one that he was trying to mount on. Once he found it, that was when he left. Oh, so Nyazi did not realize this because he was already injured at the time. He barely even tied up the tent. I think he took something similar from a ruin near Mariesi. Oh, we're now getting into interesting waters. That might have been a telescope. Perhaps he was collecting them. Sorry. The good is in all her fingers. Okay, we're getting into Renaki now. How old are you, Yazi? 34, mistress. Just like me. Began working the market when I was 8. Well, not like me. Let's hop it down, 6. What is this camera perspective? I feel like I'm getting all the worst camera perspectives with people walking down through the camera and stuff. Renaki, a market moon. Perhaps Yazi and Sia can be happy here. Can they? See, all these people look alike. They all have the same type of clothes and the same swagger about them. Just like... Because I didn't know there were places like this. I had heard, but... Yazi. They are looking at us. Yes, they are. But they'll get used to you quickly enough. So? What should we do? Talk to people. Find work, I suppose. There's water enough here. People here will need cleaners, housekeepers, even gardeners. This is a hard thing you ask, Ioxian. Had we stolen your boat, we would have sailed forever and never found this place. Good faith to you. Take care, Yazi. Not everyone is as generous as you or as forgiving. I know that well enough. Take care of yourselves. What are you looking at, Yazi? You too. Look at you. You could be sisters. You think so? I guess. Don't you go falling in love with an Ioxian, Yazi, or break your other arm. I grew up in an orphanage in Albereth. I never knew my parents. If they were my parents, then you were better off without them. Are your parents still alive on Albereth? Wouldn't care if they were. You're better off as you are, Leah. Don't go chasing ghosts, you might find them. Good faith to you. Wait a few days to pocket the treasures the Ioxian wretch left behind. This should be enough. Come on, Yazi. And hold up your head.
We snuck out of the alley mouth into a bustling street.
Here we go. Another gate. It all looks very Arabic here, this pattern, iconography.
Hawkers shouted each other down about their wares.
The people here seem affluent. My analysis of the air suggests a high moisture content. Good faith to you, fine lady. Would the lady care for a flat mango, perhaps? Do you know a man named Amadu? Amadu? No, I really couldn't be sure of that. So many people buy my fruit, you understand. It's so very good, you see. Okay, he's useless. Carnival grapes, fizzy. Just today. If I take an apple, what do I trade for? I don't have money. I'll take an apple. Just an apple, fine lady. I have buttermelons, ripe strawberries, wet fruit. Perhaps I can interest you in a kumquat fist. An apple is fine. As you will. Prefer jewelry and gold. Of course you do. You want to trade jewelry for fruit? Jewelry is very good for trading, good lady. So is fruit. I don't have anything for you. As you wish. I really must get myself another customer. Wow, rude. This place doesn't seem wealthy compared to Iox. Iox is staggeringly wealthy, mistress. Iox is wealthy enough not to trade. Gateway. There's a few more people
The
to
market
here.
of Renaka seemed to never end. Shoemakers sold boots to the fruit sellers, who sold sour apples to the knife makers, whose blades the shoemakers used to make boots. I don't know if anyone on Renaka ever slept, but if they did, I bet they bought and sold their dreams.
There's a prompt point here. There's multiple prompt points. Baskets. Cook. What are we looking for? How do we... I need to figure out how to navigate this entire thing. Right now? No, all? No. Again, how do I get Renaki? Do we have any more information about Renaki? No, it's just what happened here, literally. Right, but now we have these categories. But it's only like 4 categories, so it doesn't make any sense. Where did we learn about this person that she just said? I don't understand. Who is this Amado mistress? Yes, please tell me. Wang said he might know something. When I find him, we'll ask him. Okay. I see. You know no more than I do.
A fountain was messing about in the middle of the square, spitting at passers-by.
Baskets woven from grass. One basket looks the same as another to me, mistress. Talk? Forgive me, but do either of know you Amado? Amado? No, I don't know anyone by that name. There's a trader here, I think. Everyone is a trader on Renaki. What is with this weird face paint that people have? How else would one eat? Farewell, one lady, we must be along. Do I just keep talking to people until I find that guy? I mean, presumably we don't have anything else to go on. Shoes. Where's the shopkeeper? Could steal a pair and run off in them. Perhaps they are so badly made they will trip you up. Keep your eyes open. Maybe Mado has a banner or something. My eyes do not close, mistress. They do not exist. Cool. Who are you? Excuse me. Yes. Why are we getting so friendly with this person right away? What's your book? I like books. There's nothing wrong with that, is there? What the... Of course not. Well then. My name is Mina. I have a friend who loves reading. I have no idea where she's going with this. Who was here in Renaki quite recently. Oh, Renba, I see. I'm from Elbereth. Oh. Elbereth isn't very nice, I'm told. Unlucky places never are. No, I suppose not. Looking for a man called Amadu. The servo dealer? Yes, I know him. That's his marquee above the lizard cellar. The lizard cellar? But you've already got one. One what? A robot? Servo. That's one yours. That one's yours, isn't it? I mean 6 here. You have 6 servos. That's its name. You named it. How funny. Like it was a pet pig? Oh, this one's on low. You must have fine friends then. Good faith to you, and to you. So, above the lizard cellar, what is the lizard cellar? Vases? Those aren't lizards. Pottery also isn't lizards. Maybe over here.
I could smell fried meat, spiced apple, fresh leather, wealth.
Those are lizards. They seem to sell everything here. Look over there. Those are lizards, aren't they? Gecko, all colors. Want to buy a lizard 6? Why would I want to buy a lizard? This looks interesting. Oh? Who are you? You're Amadu? What do you want? I've come to sell your robot. I was told you could help me. You want a servo? Are you buying? You've got one already. I'm not here about robots. Then what do you want? I've come to ask you about an ancient observatory. That's a strange thing to ask a servo dealer about. And what makes you think I know where any observatory might be? A friend of mine told me to talk to you. So, little Ioxian with the big ears has sent a big Ioxian. And what is my discovery worth to this one? I found an observatory, it's true. The observatory is just a ruin. Is that so? Are you sure? This is a weird discussion of like, I'm asserting things about the observatory and then asking where is it? But we'll try. He will probably haggle with me. Why don't you tell me where it is so I can go? Why don't I? A shimmering idea. Perhaps I could throw in a servo into the bargain. What do you think? I'm a serious person, Amadou. You have a nice smile, I'm sure, underneath all that serious talk. But I do not think it is so very nice. Alright, then what do you want? If it's the robot, I can trade it. It doesn't belong to me. It is a fine-looking robot you have. I'd happily trade the robot, but it is not mine to trade. I don't see anyone else around. Mistress, please. I'm not yours to sell. Trust me, Six. This is the best thing for you. That does not seem likely. I want to know what you have before I agree to anything. How old is the observatory? What state is it in? Let me tell you about the observatory. Yes, please. I've walked its corridors, seen ancient machines. It is built on 3 levels, each is circular, each wider than the one above. So that it looks like it must topple from the sky near the sands. Oh, sorry. Perhaps that is enough for you? That's not enough. I disagree, fine lady. Now we discuss a price. Are you going to cut away Six's head? Certainly not. My servos are in prime condition. Yeah, I see that. That they don't have heads is their decision. Yours is a masterpiece. I don't like your terms. I could tell you about the corridors of glass. The machines like gigantic servos buried deep below the crust. Are you sure you won't trade? I'm so tempted to see what happens if I make a deal here. Then I think we have a deal. Excellent. Oh, Six is going to be furious. Mistress, please! A glass of water then, to settle the matter in the stomach. Is that from the fountain down there? By the goddess, no. I'm not in the habit of murdering my clients. It's not good for business. Thank you. What happens now? I have no idea what's going on now. What's going to happen now? Transfer ownership to me. Tell me what I want to know first. Ha, the lady jokes, of course. I'm not giving you my robot for nothing. Fine, lady. Consider the situation. I'm a respectable businessman with a reputation to secure. You're some kind of vagabond who intends to leave this moon at a moment's notice. You will trust me. I don't trust you, Maru. Six, with me. As you wish. I hope you weren't hoping the observatory might have some ancient cure for sheer lung. Such a terrible disease, terrible to be short of something so simple as breath. You can't have very long. Not long enough to scour the entire nebula for what others have already found. Wait, did he give me a disease now? Because she's not surprised at this at all. might be ill, but that doesn't mean I'm stupid. And if I am ill, how does he know? Perhaps not. But are you honest? I fear you are not. The offer's there if you want it. But I can't sell him. Like, as soon as I have to transfer ownership, it doesn't work. I'm so tempted to see... 6. Only your primary user can transfer ownership, right? Your understanding of the situation is correct, mistress. Somehow this sort of thing always happens to my robots. I transfer what possession I have of you to this man. Excellent. Now let's put that to the test. Robot, please forcibly eject this young lady. Indeed, master. 6, what are you doing? Oh, he's playing along, I see. Do it now, please, robot. Amado, what about our deal? What about your precious reputation? You're right. This sort of behavior will drive customers to my competitors. If they can find any. Mistress Aliyah. 6? Alright, I'm going. Where's the waters? And what about the hopper? Am I stuck here? My Ari is actually going to kill me this time. But 6 assured me that I cannot transfer ownership, and yet it appears I did. That can only mean that 6 is playing along in some capacity. I mean, I can now go and look around. Can I go back up? What happens if I just insert myself into the situation again? I'm not standing for this. That's my robot. Ah, young lady. There you are. I wondered how long it would be until you came back. I'm a dedicated servo dealer. I know how these things work. For example, I know how ownership is transferred. I think perhaps you don't. So what happens now? It depends. You don't own this robot any more than, well, than I do. So why throw me out? To see how much you really wanted the observatory. Not that much, perhaps, since you weren't willing to pay a fair price. I knew 6 would come back. Maybe with some information, maybe not. It would have been difficult for the robot to learn anything. As it happens, I don't know where the observatory is. Whoever sent you to me was misinformed. But you still thought you'd profit on it. No, as I said, I wanted to understand how keen you were. Keen enough to lie to a stranger on a strange moon, it seems. Here. It's out there somewhere, the observatory. This may help you find it. On it are some carved glyphs, mistress. This is such a weird conversation. What is happening? What just happened? Okay, I'm not going to question it. I'm here once again with my favorite puzzle. 4. And no good. There's not enough here for me to guess the rest. I'll have to hope I see these sequences again. And 4, that will do for now. What is this thing? Something I found floating in the desperate ways, alongside some of my stock. Is this another trick? No. An investment. When you find the observatory, and I think maybe you will, then any servos you find inside, any robots, you bring them to me. Alright, you have a deal. A real one this time. Excellent. No need to drink on it. Last time will do for now. I look forward to your return. Sucker.
A fat man with a scarf flashed a cheeky smile at me as he walked away.
That could have gone worse. Could have gone considerably worse, mistress. That man owns cutting tools. The mother wouldn't have cut you open, Six. I think anyway. I'd like to activate the hopper now, mistress. Let me have a look around. You sell lizards? Buy gecko? Finest gecko, it climbs walls. Can reach hard to reach places. So I mean, you sell geckos? I don't want a gecko, but my robot does. It's like what my kid does. No, mistress. My mistress is attempted humor. Not robot gecko. Gecko live gecko. Gecko now or gecko later. No gecko. Very sad. You miss gecko, I think. She has gecko on the brain. Xyrill must be a low status job. Even more shoes also. Can't imagine why. Hungry Six? Hilarious. Half of these stalls don't have merchants. Aren't they worried about thieves? Perhaps these people are rich enough to be honest. Or perhaps the punishment for stealing is extreme. Can you imagine a fountain like this on Alvarez? Just spitting water into the street? This place is so wealthy. Throwing water about like it's nothing. I'd never even heard of Renaki until Huang mentioned it. And where does the water come from? Is there a wellspring right here? No, mistress. I believe the water is pumped up and cycled. Show of wealth, then. They don't know history. They don't know who built them. No, mistress. At least I do not. Okay, I don't think there's these people to talk to. I can recognize half of these fruits. Do you grow them locally? I grow them in my tubs on my roofs. I'm blessed with several roofs. The robots know. Mistress? What do all robots know? Perhaps you're thinking of the ethical core? I have no idea where half of these conversations are going. It's so weird. Downturns. I wonder if the glass is blown locally. Maybe I could retire somewhere like this. Seems comfortable. Yeah, let's go back to the ship. There doesn't seem to be anything useful here. And so we left the surface of Renaki, the market moon. With enough new evidence to find an undiscovered site, Amado's observatory. Aboard the Nightingale. The bracelet from Amado appears a genuine artifact, mistress. But why did he give it to us? He just tried the worst con on him that he's probably ever seen. Perhaps no one has tried to con him before. And mistress, please do not abandon me like that again. Even if I was playing along. Don't be so precious. Time to move on. Mistress. We're receiving a message. It is from Professor Mayari. Put her through. Let's see what she has to say. I was not awaiting permission, mistress. Aliyah, where are you? Following a lead. Ha! Next you'll be asking for a pay rise. This isn't a social call. Oh, this isn't a social call. I wanted to let you know we're having a celebration for Renba here at the university. You don't have to attend, but I thought I'd let you know. I didn't know him. Maybe if you come you can meet some people. Then you'll be able to attend their funerals in good faith. Come home, Aliyah, right away. That is all she sent, mistress. Is it going to be this way that every stream we end on being back on Iox? And just fumbling everything up that we try to set up for the duration of the stream? Okay, so now we can go to Albereth, which I don't know why we would do that. We could also try to find this moon, but I think I'm going to leave this for next time. Yeah, no, let's go to Iox before we get more stuff that people can take from us. Wait, I want to read this text. Mayari wants me to return to Iox for Renba's funeral. I could also tell Wang I have met his trade on Renaki. As always, I could show him some of my recent books and finds. He loves old text and might have an opinion on my translations. I could go then next. The Renaki Reach. Sailing to Iox and Ioxian space via the Edge and the Cyclones. Look out there, 6. Evidently it is indeed beautiful, mistress. Does the ethical core allow him to understand the concept of beauty? Just steer left, mistress. Robots know ethics, speech, but nothing that only they know. Perhaps robots once knew more than they know now. Very mysterious. Yeah, at some point it auto-steers me around these rocks and it's a bit weird.
They say on Iox that the rivers flow with the souls of the dead.
What?
Anything to scare you to the ground.
A ruin? Would guess it dates from ancient times, mistress.
The robot hoppered away, and I was alone. Then it came back.
I recovered a battered golden sextant. I wonder how long it's been out there. An heirloom, maybe. It has that look to it. Something that was old, even if when it was used. And there's an etched motif on the casing. Oh, that's a new symbol. This is one end of a broken fragment of text. Us with... Something's gone wrong. I must have used the wrong words. What? Oh, with is not good. Okay. I see. Insert my translation for wins is right now. Once again. How? Mold and together have a thematic connection. Like merging. and or link. Yeah, link and together. And that is verb, that makes sense. Relating to a... I don't know what this comma thing at the end is. Really, I would just like to see a dictionary of confirmed words. Like, at this point I feel like I have a decent amount of them. Yeah, but connecting and together is also off, and connect and the dot, I'm not sure. Winds link us together? Oh. Device for watching the winds and flows of rivers. Invaluable, especially if you didn't have a robot. Here's what I don't understand, 6. The boat, buried under the dust on that moon near Alboreth. How did Renban know it was there? By all the waters. Are you reacting to the currents, or what is going on? There's no delineation between them conversing on this trip and also them just giving situational remarks on the routing and the weather conditions. Also, these backgrounds are beautifully painted. The edge. Yeah, now we're going around the cyclones. That is a very good question, Mistress. Oh, we're just picking up this conversation from... There's another thing. When can I... The structure is barely intact, Mistress. There's nothing here to find. Okay, cool. We can just judge this from outside. Cool. What are the rivers, 6? Flows of oxygen, hydrogen, ice. Their velocity keeps them coherent. So he's basically Wikipedia. It's like they're going somewhere. The rivers. But they never do go anywhere. They just cycle round and round. But then how are there planets that only have currents going into them and not away? How is that possible? If they just cycle. Or is it like a vortex where on the outside it goes in one direction, on the inside in the other? It doesn't look like it. Also, it's so weird. I'm remembering that I should center on these paths, but it's forcing me out every time. If Iox doesn't believe in history, what is it they think you do? Iox believes in the loop. They believe what has happened will happen again. They think I'm out discovering the future. Interesting. See, I'm trying to get back just into the middle again, and it's actively steering me away from it, even though I would like to be in the middle to just go faster. This is all so slow-paced. Whoa. Nice. Bless the rivers. Oh, that's some proper autobahn. Some proper high-speed rail. How old is the Nightingale, Mistress? Well, I think at least 10 years or whatever it was when we found it. I'm not sure. Almost 1,500 years old, maybe? Game had you complaining about the pace. Ooh. You should go right momentarily, Mistress. Thank you. The wires. Mistress. Yes. Exactly how many robots have you lost? I mean, your name is 6. You should be able to figure it out. They just keep giving me more. That is not an answer. Also, I'm getting tired. Unrelated to the game, though, maybe the pacing might be related to it. I don't know. I don't feel ready to pass judgment on the pace yet. Take the next ride ahead. I shall. So now it's really slow again. I mean, it's nice that the rivers have personality. Remba didn't hop her down. He landed his boat. Or tried to, anyway. Or else he wasn't able to return. I suspect Master Remba attempted to detonate himself off the surface of the moon. In space. So we are approaching
all the rivers of the nebula flow to Iox in the end. If you tie off your sail, Iox is where you'll wash up. It's the heart of the nebula. Or else, it's the gutter.
Set us down 6. The University of Iox. Renba's funeral is about to start. Can I talk to Huang first? I definitely want his opinion on this bracelet that we got from the trader, Amadou. I believe they are just beginning, mistress. They'll wait for us. Don't we have a place of honor? We're the ones who found him. We did not find him. Not even a bit of him. Aaliyah! Quickly! Okay, that's one. My Ariel is waiting for you to arrive. Oh, sorry. We weren't sure you really were coming. Why is she waiting for me? Honestly, she worries about your soul, Aaliyah. There's nothing wrong with my soul. I've got it safe in a box somewhere. Oh, jeez. Shall we go down? Lead the way. I will wait here, mistress. Okay. This way, Aaliyah. Janikri was a great believer in the loop. Well, everyone here believes in the loop. It's understandable. No one wants to just die. Don't you have faith in anything? I'm too busy for faith. I was born on Albereth. It wasn't faith that got me out. Quiet now. Try to keep your head bowed. A boat? Here she comes. Friends, colleagues, brothers and sisters, thank you for coming. Today we gather to recommend our brother Janikri Renba to the waters. Who's the lady? I don't recognize her. I think that's Renba's mother. I wondered if you knew her. She's from Albereth. No, I don't. I thought I was the only Alberethian here. Janikri Renba was our friend, our brother, our teacher, for some a confidant, for others an inspiration. He has left us too soon, but we trust he will be returned. Renba often traveled to Albereth to see his family. He was like you in that way. I don't have any family. I never even knew my mother. Never? I think she died when I was young. I don't really know. My mother was a carpenter. She made a lot of the chairs in this place. She's pretty proud of me. Janequi's departure is a deep loss to the university. His work here has changed our little community more than most of you may know. But it is his absence, however brief, that will be truly felt. I have a dot. She really believes this. Of course. What do you believe?
Mayari paused a moment and then emptied something out of the hourglass.
So Renba begins another journey around the Great Loop. As we remember him, so he sails the rivers above. What did Mayari pour into the river? Renba's ashes. That's not possible. They don't have his body. What? Why would you say that? That's a disgusting thing to say. He can hear us, you know.
The people began to sing. The words were weird and old.
The loop
The sound
sustains
drifted
us.
up and away into the nebula. Maybe Renba could hear us. Maybe not. Didn't matter. It was beautiful anyway.
Well, it doesn't matter to her anyway. So their belief is if your body is not recovered and burned and returned to the waters or whatever, then you cannot be reborn, and that's the tragedy. So they will take great offense in that notion. Those that are gone will return. Those that return will depart.
The chanting died away. There were echoes. Then they were gone too.
Friends, thank you for coming. Janequi will be grateful for your support.
The people began to murmur, then to talk.
Aliyah, beautiful service, don't you think? My first funeral. Not your first. What did he mean by not my first? The loop, Aliyah. He's talking about the loop. Does she even look sad to you? No, but she's not one to show her emotion in public. Good faith. Good faith. Good faith to you. You're Janequi's mother? I think he's coming back. I can't understand it. They believe everything is a loop. Nothing to them is ever lost. Not people, not events. My son was one of them. In the end, he was happy here. Did you know my boy? I didn't know him well. And thank you for coming. But I can't believe he's gone. For it's hard to stop so young. Aliyah! I see you've met Anit. Mistress Elazra here is one of the our most gifted thinkers. Please, I'd like to just spend some time with my boy. I barely saw him when he was alive. He did not visit Albereth? Not for years. His work was so important to him. Please. Why would he lie to this? Why would he lie about this to Wang? Aliyah, my dear, come see me in my office if you want to. Okay. But Huang is hopefully going into his place. Okay. Aliyah, good faith to you. Well, okay, that's just a greeting. Sus. Yeah, so we need to check in Huang about that bracelet before Mayari has the chance to snag it from us. Aaliyah. I don't know what to do with myself. You miss Renba? No. Is that bad? I mean, I didn't know him. What about you? What are you doing? I had some artifacts to show you. Oh, that sounds good. The edged metal cylinder. Have you seen anything like this metal cylinder? Let me take a look. There's an unbroken inscription. I think I recognize a word in there, although I don't know what it means. There's a few words in this one. Oh, so that's just purely unclear. Okay, so I believe I remember the word I, mistress. So there was 6 saying that. Let's think about this one again. We have forever. Let's see this. So there's a stem here that is being formed into a verb here. This, and this. And we have person with this dot. Which I'm also not yet sure what it means. So it's a person of maybe this thing, and this is the verb for the thing. So a connected word. But this was like divine in some way. If I remember, like Empress. Let's have another look. Do we have connected words for this? Hello? Can I not see? I hate this browsing interface. Oh, jeez. Yes, I know. You don't need to tell me that I need to consider this. Toward. Okay, so verb of toward is follow. Obey would make sense. I will obey and follow. There's no negation in here, so I don't think anything that has negation in it, like the little X. I will obey and follow. Does I will obey and follow work better? Thanks, Wang. Interesting. I'm not sure we have anything quite like that one. Shall I archive the metal cylinder? Sure. I don't know what archiving does besides just putting me in good spirits with him. Okay, so she cannot take this anymore. No, what are you talking about? I need to talk to your master. The telescopes Renba found, they must be linked to the observatory somehow. If these scopes were perhaps in communication with each other, mistress, and that enabled Renba to locate one from another, perhaps their connection to the observatory might be similarly traceable. I mean, yeah, except we don't have any of these. Let's see what Mayari's up to. And then I think we'll end this because I need to sit down for my feet and maybe lie down for my being tired. His mother appreciated having another Elbarethian here. His mother seems to think he died here on Iox. What did you tell her? I told her he had an accident with his equipment. I didn't tell her that her son had disappeared off-river into the depths of the nebula. She would worry for his soul, Lee, if you can understand that. No, you don't understand. Why would she worry about his soul? Souls are carried by the rivers, Aliyah. The rivers are nothing but ghosts and voices. To die off-river is unthinkable. You have more books than Wang. Those books are not his. Nor are these ones mine. Professor, do you know how Janikwi's ship might have exploded? I imagine he didn't know how to sail it. I told him to take a robot. Why would a roboticist travel without a robot? Remember was stubborn. Okay, that's all. You must have known why Renba was exploring the nebula. I did know. At first, anyway. I'm sorry I didn't tell you, Aliyah. But... Yes? You're not the easiest person to talk to. I agree about that. About my beliefs. They were Renba's beliefs too, you know. I accept your beliefs. I might not agree, but I accept that you believe them. You understand the loop, Aliyah, even if you deny it. You understand that everything which happens will happen again, and everything which happens has happened before. What does this have to do with Renba? And I'm not going to have religious discussions with her right now, but the fall, Aliyah. Iox fell, Aliyah. The empire collapsed. Our protectorate is the empire of old, and the fall will come again. And if we're not ready for it, we will not survive it. But if everything is cyclical, then will that not just lead to a new empire somewhere? The fall was almost 350 years ago. It's ancient history. You're quite wrong. That's what Renba was doing for me out there. Trying to learn how the fall will occur. And Renba found something inside one of his robots. Inside? He found a way into a robot. Into its core. The robot told him something. Set him to digging up something on the moon near Elbereth. He hired laborers from the Elbereth markets to do the work. And then I heard nothing until he sent me that brooch. But the robot know about the fall, Aliyah. The robots know everything. Can I talk to that robot? You can barely be trusted with your own robot. But whatever I told Renba, it has not told anyone else. So what do you want me to do? The fall is coming, Aliyah, faster than we think. Find what Renba found. We have to know what will happen. I mean, all of this we can tell her later as well. I try my best. I know you will. What did you make of the crown? Disappointing. I'll have it back if you don't like it. Please, Aliyah. Your Elberethian humor is not appreciated. I was hoping you'd found something worth the price Renba paid. Some of the Empire's great relics are more than they first appear. The crown had some kind of mechanism. Devices such as that crown, recordings of important people. The Emperors believed in the loop, of course, but they still fear death. Everyone fears death. Death, Aliyah, and the fall. The Emperors knew it was coming. They guarded what they could against it. Stored whatever knowledge they could. So you found devices like this before? Of course we have. You travel with one. 6 to me. Professor? Slisette. Ri Angset. Set Siang. 6? Can you hear me, 6? Selen Ang. The language it is speaking. Do you recognize it? You should. It's ancient. Renba discovered that robot cores can be accessed directly, verbally, if you know the right words. Said Xiang. It wants you to ask it a question. It sounds a lot like Albereth patois. I knew it was old, but I'm only guessing here. Katkis ihwa bo yetiflisil. I'm only guessing here. Mikis ikos boke. What is it talking about, Aliyah? Give me a moment. Only guessing here. Salehua iya huameke reari. Huameke? It's a pretty bad thing to call someone. But then so is Salehua. Elborethians really are talking in ancient. I remember a few words of patois anyway. Huameke? Huameke iya hua bo renfa. How is 6 talking ancient? I think all robots speak ancient internally, but Renba found a way in. A word. Malifa. It means fall. Mia. Malifa. Vetzale Malifa ori elboret. Katiokis Malifa bosekis siboa humen yakikat setsiang. That's as far as I've managed to go. Aliyah, I need you to do better. Renba was from Elboreth. He would have known patois like any other street kid. You think that's how he did it? Then can you? Maybe. It sounds all wrong in 6's voice. Setsiang Malifa. Etzole Malifa mori elboret. Katiokis Malifa bore meke siboa homenekanikat. Setsiang. Mori is Abrethian patois. It means near. Miyake Meke is a robot. Perhaps Meke is similar. It's waiting for an answer, I think. Katiokis? Katiokis Malifabo Meke. Meke si sale vet sale. Meke bo ifarali si boaho maniakikat. Humaniakikat? Humaniakikat iboyakikat, ja. Humaniaki is a patois word, Professor. It means essentially grow old and die. Setsiang Malifa. Etzale Malifa mori elboret. Katiokis Malifa bo meke siboa. Humaniakikat setsiang. It loops this part. Etzale. Etzale Malifa ori elboret. Etzale enyeki fis, ja. Setsiang. Professor, what does he think I can do? When Iox fell earlier, the palace here was overrun. There were hundreds slaughtered. The Forders killed almost everyone. People and robots. We know this. But we don't know where they came from. They were... how they got in. How so many got in. Or who they were. We must know before it happens again. The robots know. Mistress. Excuse the interruption, mistresses. 6. What were you just saying? Nothing, mistress. I do not like to prattle in front of my primary user, but something has come into my mind. A name. Humenyaki Kat. I will show you on the charts when we return to the Nightingale, mistress. But it is not far from here. Where did it come from, this name? I cannot be sure, mistress. It has always been in my mind, and yet I also remember a time when I was not aware of it. Are you ready to go yet, mistress? Jesus. We've still more to do here. There was something I wanted to ask you. Why didn't you tell me what Renba was doing earlier? Why did you keep it secret? Aliyah. I've always treated you as warmly as I'm allowed, you know that. Allowed by whom? As Six would say, we all have our primary users. Do I tell her about the huge ship? I don't think I will for now. Why did you take me from Elbereth? You've never really explained. I haven't, that's true. Do you need an explanation? Does it trouble you? So there was a reason. I don't often go to Elbereth, but I went looking for you. You went to the orphanage and browsed. I had a sense you would be there. Aliyah. Aliyah. I had to bring you here, Aliyah. Because you're my daughter. What the shit? I can't be your daughter, Professor. I was born in Elbereth. The ladies in grey raised you in an orphanage, I know. And yet you are my daughter, Aliyah. And I only want the best for you. What? I want to continue talking about this. Why am I not yeah, this face sums it up. This is the exact face that I'm making right now, like, except I can't do the eyebrow thing, like, it's like the DreamWorks eyebrows. I can't do them. Is the university flourishing? I think so, Aliyah. Perhaps one day you'll spend a bit more time here and see for yourself. Exactly. Exactly this face. Aliyah, I don't want anything to change between us. If I can't be a mother to you, then understand that. I don't understand anything. Good faith to... Be well. Be well! Mistress, are you well? I don't understand what she's talking about. She can't be my mother. I don't understand why she'd lie. But it has nothing to do with me. So you were really dug out of a wall on Iox? I believe I was removed from a wall. The exact events are hazy. I believe I have to sleep on this. So how did you end up in a hole on Iox? I have no idea, mistress. I do not know when I was buried or what I had done to deserve it. Professor Mayari assures me it is part of the loop. Of course she'd say that. Doesn't it bother you? That you don't know where I came from? I mean, we don't either, don't we? I understood you were an orphan, mistress. Does that not bother you? See? He has the right ideas. Of course it does. But orphan children aren't like robots. They're common. Everyone knows how children get made. Indeed, mistress. Orphans are a waste byproduct. I believe that's the thumbnail for the VOD. And so we left the university as confused as ever, with enough new information to locate a previously unknown site, the early Empire period moon. The grieving mother also ready to travel. Press any key to continue, okay. I was thinking about that boat that Renba found. Found a fragment of anyway. How old was it? Several thousand years? You have never seen a ship like it. This changes our history, Six. There must have been a whole age before the Empire, when ships like great whales crawled the rivers, carrying things from one moon to another. Trading, mistress? Most likely. An age of sail, before the Empire was founded, before the Empire locked down the nebula. Before what now? What was this about? Janiqui Renba's trail led us to a stone shrine taken from somewhere in Ghost's Wake. Perhaps that site will have some answers. I could look around here and try to pick up more evidence to uncover the site's precise location. I could explore other avenues until I know something else. Elboreth is an option. My friend the mechanist Oroy lives in Citadel in Elboreth. She might also be able to tell me something with the shard of dull crystal from the shipwreck on Renba's dig site. I will make a note of this, because I will not remember this by next time. Show crystal from dig site to Oroy. Because we will leave it off now. It's 2 hours 40 is a good time to end stream. I will sail there. We will settle on the ship, make a save, and be done for today. So like 2-3 more minutes. Must we return to Albereth, mistress? Oh, he doesn't like it there. It's true. I dislike the place. What's wrong with Albereth? You can't even smell it. It is the suffering, mistress. Oh, you can for sure smell that. My ethical core finds it upsetting. And he gets a tummy ache from it. I would rather not see it. Yeah, let's him do the work. Let him do the work. Let's make him do the work. There we go. That's what I was going to say. Albereth. I could show the dull crystal to Oroy. But not today. Poetically, we are starting this section as we began, but we will quit it here.